Welcome to the podcast, The Millionaire of the Diamonds. So, this is what I decided to do, Marie-Pierre, okay? Just between me and you. Sometimes I live things during the day and I say, I gotta bring this to everybody's attention. So, yesterday, I've heard this many times, and you too, Marie-Pierre, in my humble opinion. Okay. But yesterday was the tip of the mountain there. There's nobody more humble than me. Okay, guys, listen. That's a trigger. Okay. Is this person is not only not humble, I don't care if it's bad English, but on top of that, probably narcissistic. No, who says there's nobody more humble than me? Think about it. Anyways, I'm making a reel. Go watch it. Okay, let's dive in. Welcome to the Millionaire of the Diamonds. This is not about motivation or inspiration. This is a transformational podcast. We are here to build ourselves to achieve the next level. We are totally realistic and understand it's going to be hard. Okay. Look at the people that buy inspirational books. Doo-doo-doo. Nothing changes in their life. Look at the people, like I said, yes, that pay for conferences. Nothing changes. Here, we will transform that because we understand it's not going to be easy. And because we accept the fact that it's not going to be easy and that I am as equally talented as you, and the only difference that's going to make you more successful than me is you taking action, whereas I just had a great idea. And this is what the podcast is going to be today about. Okay. Today's about clarity. It's about precision, and it's about turning every decision into something real. But before I go there, okay, let's go to Marie-Pierre Tétrault, who's going to tell you to share. Oh, hang on. I got to say hi to my people. Is Kendra here? My soul sister, my soul daughter, my daughter. She's the age of Hammond, just about. I saw her yesterday at Monique's funeral. It was beautiful. Lise, good morning. Martin, good morning. James, okay? You guys are not on the same Zoom this morning. Okay, I think everybody's individual. James, go look at the reel. There's a reel with our meet together. Jacqueline is there. Jacqueline, did you see the chickens? It's her that gave me a hashtag replay, and I posted, made everybody laugh. Okay, made everybody laugh. I'm still laughing. So Nicole says that Louise is here. Good morning, Olga. Good morning. So Nicole says, you really like that reel because I kept playing it in the car and laughing. It was Hammond. He had no idea what was going on. Okay, enough. Bye bye. Your turn.
Okay, so now it's time to share the podcast this morning. So click on the arrow just beside where you write your comment, so you can share on every social media platform. And you have a text in the comment that you can copy paste it when you share, so people understand why they should listen to the podcast this morning. But you will see that when you click on the arrow, you can send it by messenger, you can send it by a text message. So if you have someone in mind that really needs to hear the subject of today, send it directly by messenger or text message. That's the best way to make sure they will click on the link and listen to the podcast this morning. Then we have our contest, Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So first, when you go on our Facebook group, Les Millionnaires des Diamants Inspirational Group, it's a community group. That means that everyone can participate. So every time that you post, every time that you comment, every time that you react, you gain points during the month to be in the top 10 contributors of the group. And at the end of the month, the official top 10 will get a voucher to go shop on the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants.
I need water. Me, I'm old. I choke. Did you see how many times I choke now? On my water, just for the interested. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, and then we have a draw every month. So to win the draw, there's two ways. First, with the boutique Millionnaires des Diamants. So when you place your order or when you receive your order, always take a picture, post it on social media, and tag Les Millionnaires des Diamants. And the second way, same thing, but with the books Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So every time you receive one of the book, you take a picture, you go post, and you tag Les Millionnaires des Diamants. Or you're reading one of the chapter, you take a picture, you go post on social media, and you tag Les Millionnaires des Diamants. Or you are doing one of the quiz, again, you take a picture, you go post on social media, and you tag Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So tag Les Millionnaires des Diamants. That's the only way that I can see your post, and that you will be in the draw. So you can have a new picture every day that you post to be in the draw.
I sound.
I don't know where she is this morning, but not with us.
It's the focus.
Oh, I will go get something. She come back with water. Oh, let's go with something else.
Focus, not my cellular. Okay, smile. Okay, I got. Smile, 1, 2. Oh, no, I'll make you do it. It's ugly.
Wow. Okay.
Focus.
Focus, absolutely, Maria. And last thing, if you don't already have your ticket for the next conference, click on the link, get the ticket, and when you get your ticket, there's two ways that you can watch it. So you can be virtual, so join us with the link, or you can watch it in replay if you're gonna be with us during the conference, or for those that are close to us and want to be in the studio during the conference, send me a message when you get your ticket. We still have about 5 places in French and 10 places in English for the one in April. So it's right now that you need to send me a message. So if you want to be with us in the studio, voila.
I meant, you see, because I left and I came, because I realized I didn't have my cellular. Are you going to take the picture and do it and tag me? Because you're better at it than me.
Take a picture, take a picture, take a picture. I think that's good.
It's good.
Yes.
Yeah, don't just look at yourself. What do I look like?
Yeah. Look.
Okay, c'est bon. Having so much fun. Okay. While she does the post, I'm going to dive into podcast. Again, good morning, everyone. I absolutely love what I'm doing. And I'm totally dedicated. Sometimes people say to me, "Oh, how do you have the energy?" Well, I really believe that the more we do, the more energy we have. And I see Jennifer, you're here. Like, honestly, Jennifer, this new project about the mall, whatever, tell me you have more energy. Like, it's so exciting to be excited, to look forward to something. So anyways, let's dive in. Let's dive in because it's going to be really awesome. And I'm hoping you're going to lean in and really take notes intentionally. The moment you decide and see it clearly, that would be the first sentence I will write down. The moment you decided, and if you can add your name, okay? Jennifer, the moment you decide and see it clearly, everything begins to transform. Okay, there is a moment in every person's life that changes absolutely everything. And it's not when you get the result. It's when it, it's when you've made that decision of the vision. I talk about it regularly, the 4 Ds in our business. And I talk about the first D, which is the desire. But then there's the decision. The second D is the decision of the vision. So that's the moment. That's the moment. That decision is the moment that we start, but it's not enough. It is not enough. Decision must come with clarity. And in the story we read in the book, so let me give you the story. There's a priest that's been preparing why he needs $1 million. He needs, and he can see it, right? So the man, he doesn't have the money, he doesn't have the resources, and he's not even sure he's ever going to get the $1 million to do what he needs to do. But here's the thing with the priest is he knew exactly what it was going to be used for. Every penny of that $1 million, not kind of, it was something exact that he was going to do with the $1 million. And every Sunday he's articulating this and he's articulating this and he has it written down. And then he hears of a conference where he's going to be speaking to people that actually have money. There's people in the world that $1 million is like a little bit of change at the bottom of the wallet, right? So it was so clear in his mind, the school he wanted to build. He saw the students in the school. He saw the impact. It was like a blueprint, so much clarity that when that conference came and he was asked to speak, he realized he forgot his notes for the speech. And he couldn't go back and get his notes. But here's what happened. When you prepare for something, and when it is so clear and so real for you, he went to the podium and he gave the speech. And this is what happened. Everybody understood where they were going, what he wanted to do with this $1 million. Everybody could see it. Everybody went, oh. And guess what? Somebody at the end of the sermon went up to him and gave him the $1 million. What happens with most people is they have this great idea. And now you ask them, so where is it going to happen? You ask them, how is it going to happen? You ask them, with what structure are you going to make it happen? And you ask them, so what would be the first step? And now they look at you like a deer in headlights. That's the problem, right? Because it's not clear in their minds. And if it's not clear to you, the individual that has that awesome idea, it cannot be real for somebody else. So this is why you're going to go to the bank and ask for money and they won't give it to you. It's because when you asked for the money for the project, the home, whatever it is, they could see the lack of clarity in your own mind. And I'm going to give you a real life story. Someone came up to me and Mohammed, and a young man, and he says, I'm going to need $15,000. I want to start a tourist business in the Philippines. So as Mohammed was talking to him, he not only did he realize it was vague, unclear, and there was no structure, because he was going, I'm going to have some scooters, I'm going to have like a mini bar, and I'm going to have, like, it was so vague. But out of respect for his mom that passed, he did give him the $5,000. Months later, he comes back and he says, well, finally, I didn't do the scooter things. I tried doing this. It didn't work, something with, surfing or whatever. But now I have a better idea. So I want to get the rest of the money to the $10,000 that, Mohammed said would give it to him, provided the idea was clear. But of course, he didn't get the money because he was just going to waste another $10,000. So in life, it's not a lack of money that makes that I don't realize this idea I have. It's a lack of clarity. It's like the priest. He wanted $1 million, but it was so clear, the structure, the blueprint on why and how and everything else. So when you're able to have an idea and then describe it second by second, moment by moment, and there's zero vagueness, I don't even know if that's an English word, in what you are saying, now you'll be able to have me buy in. So I always say it requires vision, clarity of vision. To make somebody else see it requires a map, requires a roadmap, requires a blueprint, requires something. Because successful people, they do it, they do this differently. It's not just the idea. They take the idea and then they go into the fine details to make that idea visual to you listening to them. And until you don't get what I have in my brain, it's just a good idea. So my son, and I want to close off with that, Hamid, has this idea that he's working on. And I always keep repeating to him, every time you explain it to me, I'm confused. You see, it's clear in your head, but you have to bring it down to me. And this is a lot of things. Sometimes people are way too intelligent that it only 1% of the population understands. So I want to close with that. So it's making it clear, but for the entire population, not just the 1%. And that's what I admire about Melanie Miller. Melanie Miller, not only does she have a doctorate degree, but she is so able to talk to other people with doctorate's degree and talk to me that doesn't have a university degree, and I understand. And that's the type of person we need to be. So when you have this idea, you need to take the time to structure it, to see it, to live it, and then ask yourself the question, when I'm going to share this idea to all levels of society, are they going to get it? And I can go as big as Jeff Bezos with Amazon. Everybody got it, including the person that has not 1 cent in the bank account got it, as far up as the greatest investors he has had and continues to have. Now, to better understand the next part scientifically, I'm going to leave you in the hands of Melanie Miller.
Good morning, everybody. And thank you, Maria, for your introduction, because what you've explained is so important. Decisions are what make things happen. And as we move into this section further on imagination, we begin to see something very clearly. Desire is not enough. Even action is not enough unless it is backed by decision. So let's bring the science into this. When you make a decision, your brain doesn't just choose something in a simple way. It activates a network of different regions working together. At the center of this process is the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for reasoning, planning, and higher level thinking. You can think of this as your brain's executive center. It evaluates options, it considers consequences, it asks, what is the best path forward? At the same time, your limbic system is involved. This is the emotional part of your brain, particularly the amygdala, which assesses risk, fear, and emotional significance. And then you have your memory system, including the hippocampus, bringing in past experiences. So when you're making a decision, your brain is actually integrating logic, emotion, and experience. One of the most interesting ways scientists describe this process is that your brain acts like a juror. It gathers evidence, it weighs options, and it continues to process information until it reaches a tipping point. Then the decision is made. There is also a region called the anterior cingulate cortex, which becomes active when there is conflict. When you feel torn between two options, that's your brain saying, we need to resolve this. Now, we also have what the psychologists call a two-system approach. System 1 is fast, intuitive, automatic. This is your gut feeling. System 2 is slower, more deliberate, more analytical. Both systems are important, but what matters most is this. At some point, the thinking must stop and the decision must be made. When you make a true decision, not I'll try or but I will, something very, very powerful happens in your brain. Your brain enters a state called commitment alignment, and this creates something known as cognitive dissonance, which simply means your brain does not like inconsistency. So if you say, I am someone who exercises every day, but you don't, your brain feels tension. And what does it try to do? Close the gap. It has two options, change your identity or change your behavior. And when the decision is strong enough, you change your behavior. This is where decision becomes so powerful. It is not just about what you are going to do. It is about who you are becoming. When your identity shifts, your actions follow, not because you are motivated, but because you are aligned. Another important thing happens when you decide. Your brain stops wasting energy. No more, should I, maybe later, what if? That all disappears. And instead, your brain redirects energy into execution. So scientifically speaking, decision reduces mental noise and increases action efficiency. This is why vague thinking keeps people stuck. If there is no clear decision, the brain stays in evaluation mode. It keeps looping, it keeps questioning, and nothing moves. But decisive people are different. They decide and then they act, and because of that, they move faster. So when we connect all of this back to Hill, we begin to see something very clearly. Desire gives direction, imagination gives possibility, but decision creates commitment. And when decision is followed by action, something powerful happens. Momentum builds, confidence grows, and the brain begins to reinforce success through repetition and reward. So the real question is not, what do I want? The real question is, have I decided? Because once the decision is made and backed with consistent action, you become incredibly powerful. almost unstoppable. And now I'm going to hand you over to Marie-Pierre, who is going to help us explore how we can strengthen our decision making and put it into action in our daily lives. Thanks, everybody, and bye for now.
Thank you, Annie. So now let's go into the quiz because we know that there's a big difference between wanting something and deciding something with everything that we learned today. Because wanting something just sounds like I hope or I'll try maybe, but when you are deciding something, it sounds like this is happening. So the moment that you truly decide is the moment that you start negotiating with yourself. So today the question is about not what do you want, but it's where in your life that you are still negotiating instead of deciding. So for each question this morning, you can answer A, B, C, or D. So let's start with question number 1. So you wake up early, you had planned to do something important, maybe to have exercise or work on a project, follow a habit, but you feel tired this morning. So what do you actually do? A, I go back to sleep or skip it. B, I start thinking maybe I'll do it later. C, I get up and do it anyway. Or D, I stay in bed debating what to do. So again, when you do those quiz, you want to answer honestly because it's easy to find what is the best option. What should I do? But what are you doing right now in your life so it can really help you? Question number 2. There's something that you've been saying that you want, maybe a better health, more income, growth, and months go by. So what does it look like in reality? A, I haven't really started yet. B, I've planned or talked about it. C, I've committed and taken action. Or D, I start and stop. Question number 3. You tell yourself, I'm going to do this every day. What does it look like a few days later? A, I dropped it. B, I adjust it often. C, I stick to it. Or D, I question if I can really do it. Question number 4. You made a commitment, but no one is checking. So what do you do? A, I let it slide. B, I justify not doing it. C, I do it anyway. Or D, I feel guilty but don't act. And question number 5. When it's time to act and your mind say, oh, you can skip today. What happens next? A, I listen to it. B, I negotiate with it. C, I act anyway. Or D, I delay and revisit it later. So, did you get mostly A's, mostly B's, mostly C's, or mostly D's? And remember, the answer that you give today is not permanent in your life, but it's your current relationship with decision. So it's something that we can work on. So if you get the mostly A's, you are the drifter. So you want change, but you don't anchor it. So you let your mood, your comfort, or your circumstances decide for you. So what is happening is that you have not made a firm decision. So time passed and nothing moves. So you want to shift from passive to committed. So the action would be to make one non-negotiable decision today. Not I will try, but I will at this time. So something specific. Now, if you have mostly B, you are the negotiator. So your pattern is that you think, you adjust, you negotiate with yourself. You don't say no, but you don't fully say yes either. So what is happening is that you keep your goal optional. So you stay in the almost. So you want to go from optional to non-negotiable. So again, you want to decide one standard that is fixed, that you won't debate, that you won't adjust with time. It's one standard that is fixed for you. Start with one. Now, if you have mostly C, you are the decider. So your pattern is that you decide and you fall through. So you act regardless of your mood, of convenience or doubt. So you are aligned with your identity and you have that strength of consistency execution. So the next level will be to protect those standards that you have for yourself. So stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep honoring your decision daily. And if you have mostly D, you are the hesitator. So your pattern is that you go back and forth. So you start, then you question, then you stop. So what is happening is that you haven't fully decided. So you stay stuck in those cycles. So you want to shift from doubt to commitment. So again, choose one action and lock it in. No revisiting, but just lock it in. So again, if you think for yourself, so ask yourself honestly, where in your life are you still negotiating instead of deciding? Maybe it looks like, oh, I'll start eating better next week. Or I should call that person when I have time. I want to grow my income, but I'm not ready yet. That's negotiation. Or maybe you can ask what I've been saying that I want, but not backing with action. So for example, you want to get in shape, but no scheduled workout. I want more money, but no extra action taken. I want to grow, but no change in your daily habit. That's a desire without decision. Or maybe you said, okay, what decision have been avoiding because it require the discipline? Maybe it's waking up earlier, cutting your distraction, following through when it's uncomfortable, saying no to things that don't serve you, because every real decision has a cost. So it's all about starting with one, but stay committed to that decision, because when you take that decision, it's where you will see a difference in your life. So on that, I wish you a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend, and we'll see you